All right, guys, I'm going to show you a real live version of misinformation, and we're going to look at how it was formed and what we can do to stop ourselves from doing this in the future. So I'm sure you've all heard of the World Economic Forum and people being afraid of them saying you will own nothing and you'll be happy. Doesn't sound very good on the surface, but again, let's walk through this very carefully. And so I found this from a Bitcoin article, and this is actually an archive for this old tweet that came out in 2016. This is when they had that video, 8 predictions for the world in 2030. They posted this tweet and they made the tagline, "You'll own nothing and you'll be happy." Now, what's always most important when you see stuff like this is that you actually follow the trail all the way back. And so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to go back to the article, and we are going to check it out. And so this is the article, Predictions for the World in 2030. It's written like 60 years ago now. We asked experts from our global future councils for their take on the world in 2030, and these are the results. All right. Number one, again, this is important. All products will have become services. And here we see the tagline or something very similar to it. I don't own anything. I don't own a car. I don't own a house. I don't own any appliances or any clothes. Right? Who said that? Right? Danish MP Ida Auken. Okay, so one person made this prediction. This is their prediction. Now, is there a much larger version of this prediction? Like, where can we find her words exactly? I don't want the summary. I don't want the condensed version. I want to find the real source of this information. So I went looking for it, and I believe I found it, and I will share it with you guys now. So we hop on over to what as far as I can tell, the real source of information. This is her right here. Welcome to 2030. I own nothing, have no privacy, and life has never been better. We can scroll up to the top of the article. Ida Auken, Member of Parliament of Denmark. And so this is her prediction, right? So right away, we followed the trail all the way back, and we've realized, okay, this is a prediction of one person that they asked for a prediction, all right? Now, if we scroll down to a bit, you can see her prediction is basically everything is Netflix and Uber. You don't buy a toaster, you rent the toaster for the time that you need it, and then you give it back. And all of those things. Like, you don't need to own a car because transportation is incredibly, cheap. You can even see it right here. Communication became digitized and free for everyone. When clean energy became free, things started to move quickly. Transportation dropped dramatically in price. It made no sense for us to own cars anymore because we could call a driverless vehicle or a flying car for longer journeys within minutes. So again, this is her prediction for the future. Not all of this is going to be accurately true. And she even goes on to tell about some of the pros and cons of this prediction. For example, my biggest concern is all the people who do not live in our city, those we lost on the way, those who decided that it became too much, all the technology, those who felt obsolete and useless when robots and AI took over big parts of our jobs, those who got upset with the political system and turned against it. They lived different kinds of lives outside the city. Some have formed little self-supplying communities, others just stayed in the city in abandoned houses and small 19th century villages. All right, so she's being very self-aware with this prediction. There's a lot of pros and a lot of cons. Things have moved really quickly. And, she even says, once in a while I get annoyed but the fact that I have no real privacy, but where I can go and not be registered. I know that somewhere everything I do, think, and dream of is recorded. I just hope that nobody will use it against me. So that is her prediction. Very draconian kind of world. And I think it's just like being honest about all of the different things that we will have to face in this world. Okay, so she makes this prediction. And then the World Economic Forum categorizes her prediction as number one in the article. All products will have become services. And they even do her justice by saying that she even mentions that her every move is tracked, and outside the city live swaths of discontents, an ultimate depiction of a society split in two. So they even do her prediction justice by showing us, the pros and cons of, this society. And then what do? And for your information, there's lots of predictions in this article, about 8 by different people. So there's a global price on carbon. U.S. dominance is over. We have a handful of global powers. Farewell Hospital, Hello Homes Vital. I believe that's basically you won't need a hospital because our health will be so good that we can just stick our arm into a machine and we'll be healed. Super cool. I'm all down for that. And there's a couple more predictions here as well. They make a video about it, and then they post the video on Twitter, 8 predictions for the world in 2030, and they take a tagline that's based on what one of their predictors said. The first one, the lady that we discussed, you will own nothing and you'll be happy. And then everybody goes, wow, communism, World Economic Forum is communist. And it's like, guys, do you see it now? This is how misinformation is created. This is how false facts are created from truth. Somebody says something, and then they condense it down in an article, and then they condense it down in a video, and then they write a tagline to get you to watch the video, because that's how social media works. And then everybody doesn't follow the trail, doesn't do all the work that I just did, doesn't show you, everything. They make their own assumptions. And they assume that the World Economic Forum is communist. Personally, I have seen zero evidence to support that. And we're now going to go to the Davos Manifesto 2020, which is basically, for the Economic Forum. Sorry about all that. I'll get rid of that back in the future. And it says right here, and again, this is the World Economic Forum. Universal purpose of a company in the 4th Industrial Revolution. Purpose of a company is to engage all its stakeholders in shared and sustained value creation. Sounds like an entrepreneurship economy to me. In creating such value, a company serves not only its shareholders, but all its stakeholders, employees, customers, suppliers, local communities, and society at large. Best way to understand and harmonize the divergent interests of all stakeholders is through a shared commitment to policies and decisions that strengthen the long-term prosperity of a company. There's no companies in socialism. The government owns everything. Like, you can't have stakeholders, as far as I can tell. Again, I'm no genius. I could be wrong, but I see no evidence that the World Economic Forum is socialist or communist. However, I'm sure many of the enlightened individuals watching this video will be proud to show me all of their information in the comments down below so that we can make a part 2 to this video, because I'm still learning. I'm not perfect. I don't have it all figured out. I'm just learning information and presenting it to you guys so that we can have a useful dialectic, because I'm so sick and tired of everybody just bashing each other and otherizing each other, which is why I no longer identify as right or left. I just care about the truth. I don't care if it's liberal or conservative. I just want the truth, and I want to use it to create good results for every single human being on this planet so we can all have a good life. If that sounds refreshing to you, then like and subscribe, and I won't judge you for your political affiliations whatsoever. Be yourself. Share what you have to offer in the comments down below. If I find your comments stimulating, I might make a video about them. Cheers.